Hello and welcome to our first video in a series where I'm going to be teaching some basic HTML. If you're familiar with some HTML already and you would like to get to the projects, you can skip to our third video in the series where we're actually going to start building a website. But if you're new to HTML or you would like to look at the setup that we're going to be using, you should watch these videos. So I'm going to be using Notepad++, and I recommend you do the same. You can use just normal Notepad, but for many reasons I feel Notepad++ it's really good for organization, and they have a lot of nice features like the multiple tab system, replacing, and I really recommend that you get it. If you would like to be stubborn and not use it, good for you. The next thing I would like to show you is this is very important for a lot of things. If you're going to be a developer creating, and it doesn't really, but I don't see how it could bug anybody, but it might. So open up your computer or any folder, go to Organize, Folder and Search, View, and you're going to want to uncheck Hide Extensions for Known Files. Now, when I create a text file on the document, text document on the desktop, I see .txt. If I had this checked, I wouldn't see that and wouldn't be able to change it. See, with it unchecked, so you should uncheck it right now and click OK. With it unchecked, I can just go in here, change it to whatever I want, .html, and change that to a web document. Just like that. Instead of having to open it up with Notepad or Notepad++, going to File Save As, changing it in there, and having to go through that, this is a lot easier and you can use it a lot and save some time. So once you have your HTML file open, you're going to want to open it and open Notepad++. Now, if you double click on it, it's probably going to open up in your web browser, being Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome. I recommend using Firefox or Google Chrome, but it's just my preference. So if you've installed Notepad++ using the installer, if you right click on it, you should get install with Notepad++, or if you wanted to be a little bit more sophisticated to that, you could open it up directly using the link and then just drag it on and it would open up. So I've created already an index document, which is what would be originally opened on a server. When you have a server and you put an index file and you go to that server, or someone goes to that server, the index file is the first file opened. Basically, that's all it is. So we'll usually use that name. Now here's some reasons why Notepad++ is really great. Because first of all, this minusing. So if I only want to look at what's in the body, I can minus the body, minus the head. So other than that, Notepad++ really has no advantage other than coloring and this tab system, but I think they're very useful features, and it's a free software, and it can really improve how long it takes to do something. You can do it a lot quicker and know what you're doing. Now, let's get in some of the HTML. Now, the first thing I would like to say about HTML is it's a container type programming language. It's not, first of all, it reads from top to bottom, and then, so it's not objective. Objective means something happens when this triggers. So it's like, do this when someone walks in a room, or do this when someone clicks this button, then do this. Now, HTML can have a little bit of that because there is JavaScript in here, which is objective, but we're going to stay with the most simplest default basic HTML. So, what we have here is we have a opening HTML tag and a closing HTML tag. Now, I would like to note that the closing HTML tag is exactly the same except for with a backslash in front of it. Very like to note that. Same thing with the body. Look, you see a pattern here. That's how you close a tag. Now, not all tags are a container type, like I said before. A header tag, container type. HTML tag, container type. Body tag, container type. Those are all things. Now, the body tag is usually where you have your content. The header tag is usually where you have like your title, sometimes even a menu, but a lot of times they don't even have any of the actual web text or web content in there. like what you see on the page, you don't actually see that. You see code behind it. So, oh, an additional thing, now with HTML5, there's also another thing. It's called a footer, which basically, if you look at this, we have a head, a body, and a foot. It's very similar. It's very similar. So now we have like a person. So basically, it would be the exact same thing, except for it goes at the bottom of the page. It's run last. So I'll just remove that. So things that you need to know. A container has attributes. So, and an attribute has a value. So let's say I want to give the body here, let's just open up our index file. Let's say I want to give our body a attribute, i.e. a background color, BG, so background color equals, so we have the attribute background color, but we've not set a value, so we're going to say the background color attribute equals, then in quotes, because we're going to put a string value, and we're going to put red, R-E-D. So I'm just going to save this and refresh this. So now we have a red web page. And we could basically put any color in here. This is browser interpreted. I don't know if we can even put violet. This is browser interpreted, meaning I'm pretty sure a lot of colors are standard, like red. I don't know if violet is. I've just opened up Notepad+. I've just opened up Google Chrome, viewing the exact same web page, and I was just showing that the color is the same almost. I don't know, over the web video it may not come out, but it was slightly off. You can check yourself. Because it's interpreted by the browser. Basically, it says if string, and it has a catalog of all these string values, and then it goes to an hexadecimal value. So that's really a hexadecimal value, it just in disguise. Now, a hexadecimal value is really what I recommend, because these browser values sometimes change depending on what becomes popular. So I really suggest using hexadecimal value. Now, a hexadecimal is kind of simple to understand. Basically, hexadecimal is 0 to A, B, C, D, E, F to F, which instead of the normal numeral system, which is 0 to 9, basically, if you think about it, or you look it up, FF or is actually the same as 255 in normal, which means that if I say FF, well, this is how hexadecimal color works. So the first two digits are a color, I believe red. The next two digits are another color, which I believe, don't think it's blue, maybe blue, and then, or yellow. Basically you have your complementary colors. Or there's one green. Okay, I really can't remember. I'm trying to do a lesson on HTML, but this is hexadecimal. Basically, these are your three complementary colors. Color 1, color 2. And basically you have your colors there. So you have your first color, your second color, and your third color, and your hexadecimal values for your hexadecimal colors. So basically, if this was FF, here, I'll learn a little too. Now, because this is a hexadecimal value, you do not need the quotes. And to start a hexadecimal, you just put a hashtag. So if I go FF0000, it's going to be all of one color. That's the full value, all 255 of red. So that's red. So if I went 00, FF0, which would be 255 value of green. The second number is green. And I go 00, FF, save this, and we'll get blue. So red, green, blue, RGB. Oh, I should have knew that. Yeah, whatever. So, like you should probably understand that you can mix colors. So this is full blue and full green, which give us a cyan. So if I go in here, FF, this will now mix red and blue and give us purple. Now you can be a little bit more lenient because you have 255 of every single thing, which turns out to be 16 million, which is a very, very big number. So the easiest way, I usually just use a website called colorpicker.com, I believe, yes, colorpicker.com, which works basically the same thing. So we have our hexadecimal value over here, and we have our scroller over here, and it's very simple to use. So I can just scroll down, find the color I want, copy the value in, save, put it in. Oops. So that's about all I wanted to really cover in this tutorial. Just basics that all you need to know, all you need to do is take this from this tutorial is HTML runs on containers. Containers have attributes. Attributes have values. And that when you're using a color in HTML, a color in HTML, it's best to use hexadecimal, especially in basic HTML. Hexadecimal is one of the best systems out there for, actually, I would say it's the best system for basic HTML. I'll alliterate this more into the series, definitely, maybe when we get in some basic CSS. So this was our first intro to the basic HTML, and like I said, all you need to do is take those really simple things out of this tutorial and you've learned something. So in our next tutorial,